It's been a minute. Over the last few months, I've been doing a lot of thinking and personal work. You asked a lot of fair questions that I wanted to take some time to answer. Okay? Let's do it.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point.
I can imagine.
It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
Accountability. Let's go.
I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and you know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and you know, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother.
That's what happens when you react emotionally as opposed to respond logically. Boys react, men respond.
I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. You know, we had a great relationship. You know, Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment, and I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
I'm very happy he's saying this because right after it happened, Twitter was ablaze with this hashtag defend Will Smith movement. Your inability to understand why he was in the wrong demonstrates why your life is exactly the way that it is right now. Let's proceed.
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, you know, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, babe. I'm gonna say sorry to
Maybe not directly.
my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, you know, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. You know, it happened on Questlove's award, and you know, it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down?
Good question.
So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down.
I can see that.
So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, you know, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
All right, a lot to unpack there. Let's get into a couple of quick points. The first thing is that this is exactly what accountability looks like. He's taking all of the heat and placing none of the blame on anybody else, directly or indirectly, that's in his circle. Second thing is, this is 3 months later. So I think that demonstrates and goes to show the amount of impact that has had within Will in his life. Will has had 30 plus years of a completely different image, and for him to react in that particular situation, you can tell, and based off of the honesty within this particular interview, that it deeply affected him. As I said and mentioned previously, as a boy, even in the manhood, I would look up to Will, pre-entanglement Will Smith, because he's a triple threat in every sense meaning of the word. And I'm sure to have that image questioned in a particular fashion as what it was required him to take significant time off in order to analyze what is going on with him and around his life.
When I was young, I definitely think I had a sex addiction of some kind. Yes, that everything could be fixed by sex. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. And I was really able to do some really deep healing. It was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
And I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
Clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
The third thing that I found interesting is that he said that Jada did not give him the green light to go. And although I agree with him directly, if you look at the footage, you don't really see her saying anything. However, I still believe that there are indirect implications. Gentlemen, as I've told you time and time again, your significant other, the one that you have right by your side, the one that sleeps in the pillow right next to you, is going to have the most amount of influence in your life. So doing your due diligence to pick and choose correctly is one of the most important decisions that you will make if you decide to make that decision.
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just...
Would you say that
If that's not the look in the face of a beaten and disheveled man that doesn't even have control of his own household, then I don't know what is. This is the 1,000-yard stare. This is the married guy, the married unhappy guy stare. This is a man that didn't understand that a woman's need to be right will beat you into a verbal submission, one of which the male spirit is just not prepared for at all.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
This is one of the first times that we've seen Will Smith, the human being, dealing with being in his own household with his wife. This is not the Will Smith that battles the aliens. This is not the Will Smith that was portraying Muhammad Ali. This is not the Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is Will Smith, the man who's been married for 25 years with a demon witch.
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start I'm standing in my house. Don't just just start rolling.
But yeah, just to sum all that up, I think that this is a life lesson in how to respond versus react, how to take complete and full accountability for the situation, and the importance of choosing the correct woman to be by your side. But listen, at the end of the day, shout out to Will Smith. I would imagine that having this persona for several decades of being this ultimately good guy, and to demonstrate that you are in fact a human being in the way that it was demonstrated in front of millions, is particularly devastating. But I'm glad at least now he's taking the time to demonstrate true accountability. Until next time, YouTube.